Welcome to the CBS Eye on Money podcast. It is Tuesday, November 9th, and we are here trying to answer your financial questions. Who is we? It is Mark Talercio, best executive producer in the world, and maybe the only executive producer of a finance podcast who also has his certified financial planning designation. So, hi, Mark. How you doing?
Ni hao.
Oh, I love that. You want to say it in a different language every day?
I was thinking about doing that, yeah.
I like that. Mark and I were just talking about traveling and how much we are so looking forward to really traveling again. Maybe you are too, and maybe you are a little braver than we are. I mean, I just think that anyone who's got little kids is staying put, obviously, which makes a ton of sense. And as everyone knows, after my hellacious trip to Las Vegas, I'm only going to get on an airplane again if for some reason I'm going to a fabulous place. So right now I'm contemplating tagging along for a business trip with my honey. But I don't know, Mark, I'm a little nervous. You think I'm being too wimpy?
Well, like I told you before we started recording, if not for my toddler, I would have been on a plane by now. So if I'm you, I'm going.
Yeah, but what happens if I get stuck there? Like what if I get locked down there? I mean, I guess I could be locked. I would be locked down in a very nice hotel. That would be good. I guess we could just keep doing this stuff. Maybe I should just maybe I'll bring my iRig, my little thing for my phone, just in case I would not be able to go to the bureau. I'd be really kind of screwed. All right. This is a place where we are inviting you to join us. And the way that you can join us is going to our website, jillonmoney.com. When you're on the website, you can click on the contact button and write your message, say, here's my question, no problem, and then we'll get it. But if you would like to join us on the air, which is so much better, just say, I want to come on the air with you. And Mark will do everything else. We have created this virtual studio situation. I was just telling my friend, who is the godmother of my four-legged children, that I never have to go into a studio again to do audio work. And she was just like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I realized, Mark, it'll be almost 2 years now since we've been in a studio.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it at all. Mark used to work at CBS Radio, so he knows all the people. He would sneak in and then try to sneak out. And every time he would be like Mr. Grumpy, like, oh, I hated him. Oh, I always hated her. And he'd like walk in through the newsroom and then we went through the back and you were much happier.
There's a handful of people I did not mind running into, but for the most part, most of those people, no thanks.
No thanks. All right. Well, listen, I'll tell you who we're going to run into right now. We are going to run into Matthew from Alabama. We sound a little snarky here. We're recording at the end of the week for this show. And so all of us are a little tie-tie from the week. How are you feeling today?
So off of work early and going to the beach for the weekend for my anniversary. So I'm actually awesome today.
Oh, look at you. What number anniversary?
So it's only the first anniversary, but high school sweethearts, we dated for 13 years before we got married. So,
Oh my God. Wait a second. High school sweethearts. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about this for a second. So are you the same age?
Yeah, we're both 27.
So you met in high school, in what grade?
We were freshmen when we started talking, and then we started so-called dating in sophomore year. So
I feel like dating in Alabama is a much bigger commitment than dating in New York. I don't know why. Is there more sort of I don't know, sort of declaring my love for you so early? I mean,
it might have been. I mean, we couldn't drive at the time, so we even had to get parents or siblings to drive us around and stuff. So, maybe so.
I can't believe it. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law, high school sweethearts. Mm. And, it's a beautiful thing. If it works, man. No looking back for you, baby. You're on it. So what's going on? 27 years old, married for a year, but really 13 years. What's up?
So we'll get to the numbers, I guess, after. The question is, are we too young to take our foot off the gas and I'm crazy about money, so stop being crazy about money and maybe even start working a little bit less. My wife actually started going part-time this week. So I'm looking to do the same thing, but you tell me if I'm crazy, basically.
Wait a second. What does she do that she's going part-time?
She's a nurse, so, the past 2 years have been pretty awful for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that sucks. So as a part-time nurse, what does she earn now?
Right under $30 an hour. It'll be around 36,000 gross, I believe.
Okay. And will she get benefits through you?
No, she actually is still allowed to have benefits. She can still go to her 401k. She's going to do the 6% to get the 3% match. So it's not going to be a lot of money, but it's still, she does have benefits. So
All right. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And how much money is in her retirement plan already?
she has 66,500 in her 401k.
Okay. What do you do?
So I changed jobs about 3 months ago. I am actually a paraplanner for a financial planning firm here.
Ah, that's so good. Are you going to get your CFP?
I am. Yes, I am. That is
Well,
the
then how
goal.
are you going to slow down?
Well, so that's the thing. I enjoy what I do, but I also enjoy doing other things. Like when I used to work from home, so I was able to learn Spanish for a year and a half, play guitar more, be healthier, work out more. So mine's more of like a lifestyle shift rather than kind of work less, but basically to see if we financially can do that, I guess.
How much do you earn as a paraplanner?
So 52,000, but we do have the option when our firm does well, we can get a little bonus. It's a very small firm, so it's very close knit, kind of like a little family almost.
And do you have a 401k?
So we have a simple IRA, and I just got eligible because like I said, I'm new. So it's just
good.
they put in 3% regardless, and I'm going to do 3% just to kind of match it. But
Okay. You guys are just married a year. Are you planning on having children?
a couple years down the road, we just got our first fur baby, and we're going to let her kind of, take that role for right now. So
All right. Where do you live? In a rental or do you own?
we own a duplex. We live in one side and rent out the other. So
All right. How much is the duplex worth?
368,000.
368. Come on. I'm putting 370. Damn it. I'm not doing any eights here. Okay. What kind of mortgage?
FHA since we moved in, and it's at 338.
FHA, did you put a smaller amount down?
Yeah, we did. We only put the 3.5% down because I love to be cash heavy and kind of be liquid. So I wanted to make sure. So we also just bought a condo when we closed on Wednesday on a condo that we're going to rent out. So
Wow. Okay, wait. So let's just talk a little bit. The duplex, the rental, the other half, how much money does that bring in?
So after property management fees, $1,450.
Property management, what about like other stuff? Like, in other words, are there other costs associated that will pull that number down from 1450 to something smaller?
Unless something breaks in a month, no. And the building's only 3 years old. We've been very blessed with no maintenance, that kind of thing so far. So we don't have any other, the tenants pay electric, the tenants pay the water and all that kind of stuff. So,
Okay. So does that 1450 cover your mortgage payment?
our mortgage is $1,900. So we're paying a very small amount to live in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,000 square foot home.
Fantastic. That's great. Okay. Obviously, that's part of the reason that your wife could kind of pull back a bit, right? Tell us about the condo. How much did you pay for it?
So it's $200,000, appraised for $205. Who cares? And so the mortgage on mortgage plus HOA is gonna be around $1,200 a month, and we should be able to rent it for $1,700 to $1,750. So that
Ooh, what's the mortgage outstanding balance for this? What did you get?
$170.
So $1,200 a month. You should be able to net, let's say, $500 a month is what you're saying. Okay.
Correct.
Good. Perfect. Now, you worked somewhere else and you have a simple IRA now. What about an old retirement plan? Anything in there?
So $4,500 in a deferred comp that I'm probably going to leave because it's a decent plan, and then $14,000 in a pension that I'm going to roll over to a traditional IRA soon.
Okay, got it. Anything else? So you said you like having cash. So tell me about what's in your non-retirement assets.
All right. Well, so we also have $50,000 in Roth IRAs, but then we have $30,000 in a brokerage account and only $20,000 in cash right now because we just bought the condo. So it's a little lower than I'd like, but it's still okay.
So what you would plan to do is, with the net from the condo and just sort of where you are in your lives, you're going to build up that cash up to how much do you think you like what's your comfort level and what is your real run rate? What do you need every month to live on?
So my wife and I are not very, needy. With our mortgage and all being covered, we spend $2,500 a month. So I would like around $30,000, which would give us a year of runway with cash.
Great. Okay, that sounds awesome. So you feel comfortable about your wife pulling back to $36,000 a year, obviously, right?
I do.
Is that a temporary move, or you think that's permanent?
I kind of think it's going to be permanent. We'll see. We'll see if and she's open to doing other work part time to make a little money. She needs some time to step back and have less hours at the hospital. The way I see it, so because I do the financial planning, I like to run time value of money calculations. We have over 150,000 invested. That could easily be between $1 or $5 million by the time we're 60 if we don't put another dime in. But on the other hand,
what are you assuming for a rate of return on that?
I go between 6% to 10% and just,
keep it at 6.
I would say exactly. Let's say 6. And what are you using for an inflation rate?
typically 2. I mean, I know it's been crazy lately, but
Do me a favor. Run this analysis at 6% return and 2.5% inflation.
that's not too conservative. I mean,
What do you mean? You are built for being conservative.
you're right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like a guy who likes to have cash, you want to be conservative. And then you can work backwards. What's the worst thing that happens? Oh, you're 40 years old. You're like, oh, damn it. I have more money than I expected. That's terrible. There's a couple of things that go through my mind. Yeah, sure. You could live a different life. I am very clear that if you choose the path of being a certified financial planner, that it's going to suck for a few years. It is. Like, it's hard work. Tell me more about, do you think if you got your CFP, would you still want to be sort of behind the scenes, or do you want to be the kind of person who goes out and gets the money and brings it into, or goes out and gets the clients?
So I am not the person who gets the client. So that's my thing. I enjoy the numbers. I enjoy behind the scenes. I don't think, the way our firm's set up, obviously, if you become an associate financial advisor or a full-time, the head advisor, you're going to make more money based off of, compensation type. But I like the numbers. I like doing the plans in the back. I don't see myself trying to go get clients and really trying to bring money in. So
The reason I asked that was that if you're the guy who goes out and is the business development person, then I think you're working really hard for 10 years to build up a practice.
Right.
If you're comfortable saying, I want to be the person behind the scenes, so maybe you make 50 today, but you get your CFP, you become more valuable, the partners love you, and then maybe you're making 80, 90, 100. Then I think you can actually have some more flexibility. I don't know at this firm, but I do believe that if you're not client facing and you're doing the work, I'm not sure why you would necessarily have to be in an office. And if you like that balance, maybe that's something you shop yourself around for. Like, hey, you know what? I'd love to work in a different place. For all I know, you could, do back office CFP work for someone in New York. Is there any reason why you would have to actually be in the physical office besides the fact that you're in a place where everyone's in the office?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's for sure. I mean, the possibility to work from home is there. And that is a possibility. Like I said, I guess my main concern is just I don't want to have to make money, I guess. I like my wife and I keeping low expenses. I like us having cash. She's going to bring home enough money to almost cover our expenses working part-time. Mm-hmm. And so I don't like feeling like when I go to work, I feel like I'm almost in prison because I have to ask.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Well, no, it's not so it's just my mindset in general, right? If you have to ask somebody's permission to take off work because they're your boss, that's normal. But to me, that's not normal.
Mark, I don't know what to say about this.
It's clear he needs to be his own boss. He needs to, if he wants to be a CFP, then he needs to somehow figure out a way to set up his own shop.
Or maybe what you do is you say to a firm or a few firms, I'll do your back office para planning and be like almost like a consultant. Basically begin a practice where you're using your services and you're becoming a person who does stuff in the background. In other words, there's like a lot of people who would want an extra set of hands. Maybe you're particularly busy, or maybe there would be a possibility of doing that. But I think if you're going to, if you want the stability of the firm, and you seem to you like the firm, right? You seem to like they're nice people.
Great human beings. Everybody's close knit. Yeah, they are fantastic. I'll say that.
I don't want you to give it up. I feel like you're young to have this conversation. Let's just sort of talk generally speaking. Mm-hmm. You guys you're putting in, your wife's putting in 6%. She gets her 3% match. You're putting in 3% into the simple and a 3% match. And are you both maxing out Roth IRAs?
Yeah. So the goal really, for me going forward, my financial goal in general is max out a Roth IRA until we're 60 or 65 and, right off into the sunset kind of thing.
I mean, you'll probably be able to do it with these low expenses. I tell you what I wouldn't do. I know that like the duplex works great, the condo works great, but I wouldn't necessarily go out and buy like 5 more properties. I would try to focus on whether or not you want to get the CFP, where you're going to land professionally. Is it that you start your own practice? Is it that you want to be able to be in this company and really provide service to them? Do you have some other way to, make some money? Is it that, you do this for 8 years and maybe you do start saying, hey, I've accumulated some money. I'm going to buy some more rental properties, and that becomes your full-time gig. But I think you're on track to basically write your own plan. However, I would be remiss if I didn't sound like Auntie Jill saying there's a lot to learn from being part of a nice practice with nice people, and it might enrich you. I think the message that I want to leave you with is this. You're on the path. You get to sort of decide where you go next. It may be that you love this flexibility, but you have to really think about, what is it that's going to motivate me? I'm going to have some kids. We're going to have a life. I just would be worried that things are going to change so much in the next 5, 10, 15 years that I want you to relieve yourself of any sort of anxiety around money, and also know that the path could twist and turn, and it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to stick to a plan. Is like a living, breathing document, as you know, right? Because you do it. Yeah. It's a snapshot. Your snapshot today is this tiny little moment in time. And it is a very lovely picture that you have. It is really great. You and your wife have done a great job. It's just now you need to really start to think about, well, post-COVID, what is it that we really think we want our lives to look like? And that's something you can talk about together. But I like that she's working part-time. I think trying to not make huge decisions in this moment, but just give yourself options in the future that will probably give you a lot of solace, that will make you feel better.
I agree. I appreciate your advice and your help. I get into my own head when it comes to numbers because I'm sitting there running calculations all day long, wondering, thinking about everything. And my wife keeps me on track. She helps me actually enjoy life a little bit. So,
Thank God for her.
Really? Gosh. I mean, anyway, I think you are in good shape. Presumably because you are a planner, you have your estate documents done?
So.
Oh, Mark.
So my firm, actually, we have a lot of, people we work with, obviously. So my goal is to get in with them very soon, but haven't been able to, get there yet. So.
All right, let's get going. Thanks for joining us, Matthew. Hey, if you guys would like to join us, and gals and anyone else, give us a shout. You can go to our website, jillonmoney.com. Click the contact button and tell us what's on your mind. We would really be delighted to have you on the air with us. While you're there on the website, a couple things you can do. Number 1, sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Number 2, you can subscribe to our sister broadcast. It's called Jill on Money. You can follow Jill on Money or I on Money wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Please go ahead and lift someone up today. We are distributed by Viacom CBS. We release our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Curiosity, compassion, community. That is our mantra here. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.